Ah, yes, Wave Race 64, the memories that I don't have, but everyone else seems to. Yup, I didn't grow up with Wave Race 64, although I did grow up with a Nintendo 64, and I missed out. And I've always heard people talk very fondly about this game. Oh, Wave Race 64, my God, I just love the water. And it's not a knock. I honestly just never fully experienced the game. And even when I started to get into Wave Race 64, I just didn't understand what the hype was about. And it wasn't until recently that I've begun to understand and learn to love the game. So today I'll tell you about what I've learned to appreciate and why I love Wave Race 64 today. Subscribe if you like water as much as the next man. Anyways, so recently when I tried getting into Wave Race, I just played it through, and I had opened up my Japanese copy because I'm poor and I buy Japanese games because they're cheaper. And I had somebody else's file. And what I really should have done was reset all the game to the factory settings and just experienced it freshly. And so I began what I thought was the beginner circuit and was actually just a race with dolphins. It's not even a race. It's just running around on your jet ski with a dolphin that follows you. Or you can kind of keep up with it. I was like, man, this game is great. I love this. I'm just swimming around in water in a trick park. Man. And then I got into the circuit. And there were buoys. And it was difficult. And I didn't understand. It didn't make sense. I really didn't understand why I couldn't just do a fresh race of the course and I had to go between buoys. It felt like my ability to explore these levels was really restricted in what seemed like so beautiful an environment. And so I feel like that's why when I first played Wave Race 64, I didn't get what the hype was about. I was comparing it to other kart racers on a system that is known for its kart racers. And I feel like people talk about this one as though it's one of those amazing racing games. And now I understand why. Recently, I participated in a challenge, a custom circuit challenge for a fellow YouTuber, Waves and Games, who you should go subscribe to. He does some great community efforts. And he's doing one with a custom circuit of time trials on Wave Race 64. And so I live stream my attempts to an audience of maybe one. And I ended up racing each course in the circuit a good 10 times or so. And I learned to understand the game's mechanics and the game's physics. It's not just that the water's beautiful, but the water and the waves are mechanics. How well can you ride the waves? It sounds simple, but it's almost like surfing. I don't know how many of you have surfed, but to surf, you have to ride the wave. And it's very similar on the jet ski. With some of the waves, you can actually catch it on this kind of drift down and boost your speed. And it really feels like you're working with the waves and not against the waves. And sometimes the waves are too high, and you end up just jumping all over the place. And you actually have to learn how to ride into those waves and to kind of cut them as well. The other things that make this game so enjoyable is really ambience and variety. So, yes, the first stage is kind of a sunny beach. I think that's what it's called, a sunny beach. But then you go into the sunset, and then there's a night course on the hard difficulty. And then you're in a glacial area on expert. And there's 4 more total courses. It sounds like there's not much, but it's just enough, all things considered. That's what I didn't understand, because I was comparing it to Mario Kart, and I was like, oh, Mario Kart has 4 Grand Prix with 4 cups each, and the same console on Mario Kart 64. Well, the thing is, these courses each have so much character. And granted, I don't love the glacial area, but everything else is so cool. One of them has tides and dolphins that appear, massive jumps, and this kind of like huts on the water on a big bridge. There's just a lot of good variety in the stages that show you different kind of beachy, tropical elements. I mean, it could be Florida. I don't know. It's not that tropical, but it is still beautiful. And the music and the announcer really complement this. They create this kind of like chill vibe, which is really my alley. I'm chillest of the chill. What can I say? Additionally, those courses are dynamic, as are the course elements. So when you go to the higher difficulties, they may add things. Maybe you'll get some mines or something, but they'll also open up shortcuts. So I think of this one that's like a tempest. You're riding into this storm of a level. And when you play it on the higher difficulties, they actually open up a segment that lets you cut through the course. And the first time you discover that is just so enticing. You also kind of wonder if you can go there. And then there's another course. It's like the night course. And you can actually take a jump over an entire segment into a pool area. And it lets you cut so much of the course. It's so interesting.
Welcome to Milky Lake.
I think I really love Wave Race 64 right now because it's just such a calm, fun experience. And once you get the hang of it, you really do feel pretty empowered to win some races in what's really a well-made game, all things considered. It's not one of those clunky racers that looks kind of hideous to go back to. I think it looks really good and it plays really good, and there's just so much water to absorb, so many different types. So if you haven't played it, you should play it. It's Wave Race 64, and there's a lot to love.